What up? What up? It's your boy Slate Diggity coming at you again with another episode of the Uneducated podcast. Got my boy T Rizzle here and Mr. Matthew Jackson. Episode 10 coming at you right now, boys.
Episode 10.
Episode 10, y'all. We did it.
Came up quick.
Yeah. We had two that were part 1 and part 2, the longer ones we split up.
Mm-hmm.
So technically we have more than 10 episodes out, but
Right.
title-wise it's episode 10.
Yeah, 10th time sitting in the booth.
I mean, that's cause for celebration.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
I'll drink to that. A Waterloo sparkling water.
Waterloo.
Had to get that in there.
We need to record that sound effect so we can just be like, boop.
We'll make our own little beats with me just fucking doing stupid shit, bro.
We can do that. We can make some
I'm
bangers.
down. I'll spit a bar.
I've been cooking all week, bro.
I heard. I remember you saying that, dog.
Yeah, it comes in waves, the music thing. But I mean,
Yeah.
I spent more years doing music production than tattooing so far.
Just another way to create, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I find myself sometimes wanting like another outlet of creativity
Yeah.
that's not like art, you know what I mean? So music is definitely that for me. Videos also that for
Right.
me. I love being creative, but I have passion for like a few different things, you know?
Right,
So
right.
at this point it's just, you know, I guess I don't necessarily, I focus on tattooing more, but I don't want to neglect other things to where I don't do them at all because it's skills that I've honed in and like they're still valuable skills. Like if I wanted to, I can make money with that stuff too.
Right, yeah.
So-
We were kind of briefly talking about that before you got here, just like sitting down to like do things you enjoy doing. Like drawing is something I enjoy to just do in general, playing guitar and reading, like making sure that we have time to do those things.
Yeah, it's definitely important to put in what, all those extra hobbies that you really, really enjoy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Got to get those in the schedule.
Yep. I think that even kind of piggyback on we were talking about like the idea of slow season, and like that's a great thing to fill time with during those times, like other outlets, because that's going to bleed into whenever it is
Yeah.
busy. You know, like if we go into like a tax time and it's slammed for months, you might not have that time to make beats and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So
And like you said that you enjoyed, draw and stuff. And whenever you draw, I mean, that's just, more stuff on the menu that you're creating.
you got money in the
So,
future when it's a
exactly.
busy season.
Exactly. Coming up on, we got Thanksgiving and Christmas coming up.
Yep.
And
It's wild. What's the date today?
The 17th, I believe.
17th or 18th.
18th.
Yeah,
That's wild.
18th of November.
Yeah, it just
It's creeping
goes
up
so
fast.
fast.
Yeah, I can't believe Thanksgiving is that close.
Next week, bro. Next week. But yeah, a lot of people have just been putting back money for, Black Friday's always a key thing. Everybody tries to get all them
Last minute
maybe
shopping.
deals.
and-
Yeah.
Maybe deals, yeah.
Yeah, maybe deals.
But I've definitely heard conspiracies before about it's a lot of it's not really sales, but they do something like starting a month or two ahead of time to where they like already start dropping prices on certain things or something like that, and then they just brand it as it's like it's on sale, but like the price had already dropped. Or,
Right.
Yeah.
And I could see that. I mean, the goal behind Black Friday is for the stock markets and
Yeah.
everything, to send everyone's into black. And so,
Right. Yeah, I
if they're
definitely.
extending it, because now you have Cyber Mondays, and it would make sense for them to have it a little bit earlier, too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I definitely heard about Walmart doing that for sure. They just kind of, there's not really like a Black Friday anymore, like what we were used to growing up. You know what I mean? Like everybody would be there at like 3:00, 4:00 in the morning, fucking line out the door, trying to get in, fighting people for last PlayStation 2 or some bullshit. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But no, yeah, they, I guess around like November, they kind of just start lowering all the prices and stuff. And then you're not even going to really know, but that's all their Black Friday is now.
Right, yeah.
And I mean, they still might have some sort of in-store deals on the day of, but nothing too crazy.
I was I don't know about you guys. Like, so back when nowadays it's definitely a lot more organized than it used to be when it was like, you know, open the doors and like crowds of people rushing in. Like I've seen some videos of people getting trampled and like
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
dying and crazy stuff, dude, on Black Friday.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But at the same time, I remember being probably a teenager, early teenager, when it was the first time I went out with like either my siblings or my mom or something like that on Black Friday. Like with my family, we used to sit there and just all the stores put out those like catalogs. And then my mom would always get them and have them at Thanksgiving when our, you know, aunt and uncles were in town, cousins, everything. And we would all just like kind of pass them around and look through them like, anybody going out? Like
Right.
what you getting? It was almost like a fun family memory of mine. But it was kind of fun going out in like the early hours of the night on one night of the year. But instead of everyone being at home and the city being dead, everything was open.
Everyone was out,
It was
popping.
awake,
Remember
and
going,
everything
like-
was popping. And it was 2, 3 in the morning. People were just out shopping. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I remember going to like Greenwood Mall and being there like 3 in the morning. I can't remember what the purpose was. There was a goal. I mean, if you're going out that late, there was a goal
Oh, yeah.
item, but I think I was just tagging along.
I wonder when that stuff, you know, started to die out, because there had to be some sort of period of a die out. It just seems like, I don't know, from my like memory, it just seemed that it just dropped.
My
You know
guess
what I
would be
mean?
like probably around like when they started introducing like Cyber Monday and stuff like that. And
Was Cyber
Yeah.
Monday not as, was it not a thing as long as Black Friday?
I don't think so, because with the rise of online retailers like Amazon and stuff within the last like 10 years since it got like mega, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? I think that's when Cyber Monday started. At least that's what I remember. you
well,
know?
I mean, and people are realistically ordering more things from home than
Yeah.
ever before without going to
Yeah.
the store. I mean, most items that like most things that we're into, tattoo related, photography related. I mean, even art supplies. We don't even have a art store around us, so I'm ordering all
Yeah.
my art supplies even.
Yeah, so it makes sense for not everyone. You can't get everything in a store locally.
Right. Yeah. So and everyone wants the immediacy of they want it tomorrow, and
Yep.
you can do that now.
Someday, or sometimes you can get it
Yeah.
the day of.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Amazon's wild, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get you a Prime.
Yeah, well,
It'd
for
be
now,
dangerous.
I'll just, if I need something that fast, I'll just hit up my brother and be like,
Right.
"Hey, can you order this for me?"
Yeah, I got you, bro. Don't worry.
Right.
But yeah, it's obviously like crazy nonsense that like our culture is that consumer driven,
Right.
that there's something like Black Friday where people are like fighting over stuff, but at the same time it always was kind of cool to go out and just see, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, kind of like what you were going into, I believe, with that bringing up Black Friday was kind of like how that creates the slower seasons and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of where I imagined you were going with it.
Yeah. I don't really exactly remember where I was going at this point. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, slow season's a real thing. When me and Matt was talking about before you like kind of arrived, usually my schedule is like pretty decently booked out, you know what I mean? But I have like encountered I guess like my first slow season in a minute. Like I got a couple of days in like November open. One was like a last minute well, I don't know if it was last minute. I think it was just on my part for forgetting that it was rescheduled. And then I kind of left like another Saturday open just because I didn't know what we was doing for like Thanksgiving and whatnot. But in December, I got like 5, 6, 7 days open or some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of weird. You know what I mean? I've not really encountered that in the four-ish years now.
Yeah.
Since I moved up here pretty much.
Yeah.
Usually in the wintertime, I feel like I'm the busiest because I do a lot of color work. And in the summertime, you know.
People being out in the sun and all that.
Yeah, I feel like in general, tattoos in the summer just kind of
It slows down a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. This year in the summertime, it was decent. So I guess I got to pay the price and have a slower time in this winter time, like most.
Yeah, I feel like even with the last 2 years for me, the towards the end of the year has been slower than what it has been. Just like going off of my like last year, I know it was this probably the slowest December that I've ever had. I'm not by any means would I say I was slow, but I definitely didn't tattoo as much. Definitely
Yeah.
didn't book as many things. But over the years, it's like learning how to use that time wisely, which we were
Right.
talking about.
Yeah. Talking about drawing and actually being more creative and bringing more things to the menu.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess, I was kind of begging for, a little bit of a break to try to kind of like rest out my neck and kind of work on my body and get it in tip top shape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it can be
Yeah.
a blessing in disguise for
Yeah.
sure to like just have those like even cancellations and reschedules. Sometimes it's like,
Yeah.
okay, maybe I need to just chill and not work today.
Right. Yeah. Naturally, I just freak out. You know what I mean? Because, I'm the only income in the household. So if I only see like 1 or 2 money days in a week, kind of freaks me out. But where I kind of envy you, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how the hell you do it, bro. He'll work like
Well,
2 or 3 days.
My
and
wife
like,
works too.
That's true. That is
Yep.
true. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, there's other things too. Like I think these days, especially in our culture, like we have a debt problem.
Right.
And I do listen among a lot of like financial advisors and whatnot. I do listen to some Dave Ramsey in the mix, and
Yeah.
he's all about like, why do you make this much money but you have nothing to show for it?
Right.
Like they people call in all the time. He's like, you make what? 150K a year, 200K a year, and you're saying that like you feel like you're broke. Why is that?
There's a
Because
spending
you have
issue. Yeah.
because you have money going out here and here and here and car payments on this whatever when like you don't need that. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's actually it's making your life a lot worse trying to keep up with the Joneses and this and that. So I have been really strategic about like if we can be in as little debt as possible, then let's do it. And that even with building wealth in the future, that frees up. His whole thing is like if you're out of debt, then that frees up your income to just invest a larger percentage.
Right.
And so it balances out in that way. And, you're less of a slave
Right.
in the meantime. So I will say I've kind of focused on that.
Yeah, and I think that kind of goes into like one of those things you can do as an artist for yourself and like set yourself up to where if there is a slow season, you can, you have money set back. One of the old adages, and I want to say it's Rick Walters, but I don't want to misquote who said it, was remember December as a tattooer. And that was something that like stuck with me early on was that like there's going to be slow seasons. And historically, like I feel like I still see those slow seasons, like towards the end of the year when school goes back, when school gets out, and then anytime you have holidays, I feel like those are generally slower, at least booking wise. Like if you're booking out, you're probably not going to feel it as much, but you're not booking as many things in the future.
Yeah.
So it's like setting up, I don't know, some things that you can do like that so you have that income set back and pay ahead on bills and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Recognizing seasons.
Yeah, but I do think kind of I forget who was talking about it, but basically the work-life balance of like it's almost like sometimes you need checked. Like if you've been busy or in a busy work season, you know what I mean? Like if you're not naturally checked, I
Right.
guess by just schedule or time of year at some point to be able to focus on, all right, well, now I'm going to focus on my body. I'm going to get in the gym. We're going to do this other thing and do the podcast. And there's this other hobby that I do, and I need to spend more time with my family anyway. All these
Right.
things that you can kind of put into it. I feel like sometimes it's naturally good to get checked or else you'll burn out.
Right. Yeah. And eventually you're going to get checked somehow, whether it's family saying like, hey, we're not spending time together, or you get sick or get hurt because you're not taking care of yourself. So yeah, like you said, naturally life will check you if not.
Yeah.
And I mean, hopefully that when it does happen, hopefully it's a healthy thing.
Right.
Because like, I feel like, you might even in that season of being checked where you're not as busy, but you're able to do these other things that you also enjoy and are good for you and whatnot. I feel like that can, you might like your life better that way.
Right.
You know, like I love tattooing, but like I'm not the type to want to do it every single day. Like I'll get burnt out.
Right.
You know, there has to be a balance in order for me to keep enjoying it. Like I need to also have time for these other things, and
Right, yeah.
not feel like a slave to it. So,
Right, yeah. Yeah, and I think a lot of artists do get in that like slave mentality towards being an artist. I personally just can't help it. In some people's eyes, they'd probably look at me and be like, "Yeah, you're a slave to tattooing." I just love it that much to where I don't mind. But I do know that like I don't have that many other. That's not the right way to word that. But that I do have other interests, but tattooing consumes me a lot of the time. And every day, like I go, like we're going to the gym, and it is to take care of my body, but it's also like in my mind, like I'm gonna be able to tattoo better
for tattooing.
yeah, like everything is for tattooing at this point. I'm okay with it. I love it. So, but I know that's not for everyone.
Yeah. Have you guys ever gone through like a serious burnout phase, like a prolonged, like
I almost quit tattooing.
how long ago? Like tell us about it.
It was before I moved up here. I was still in Kentucky. I think the person that saved me was Nick Ido. He's the one who saved me from, not just hanging it all up. I was just over it. And I'd say that's because Kentucky's like an oversaturated area. You know what I mean? So sometimes I wasn't like good at all. In my eyes, I was not good. So not being able to produce high quality work doesn't separate me from anyone. You know what I mean? So at that point, I'm just an average Joe. Dime a dozen. There's a million of them out there. So I wasn't like busy. I wasn't getting bookings, fuck walk-ins, all that bullshit. I was just over it and almost just hung it up. But that was probably like the worst burnout. Then there's sometimes like I kind of get like, just like recently, man, like there's certain days or weeks where I'm just like full day, long as fuck day. You know what I mean?
It's like mentally burnt out at a certain point.
I feel like I'm just like in a repetitive schedule of like wake up, work out,
Draw.
go to work, tattoo, come home, draw, eat dinner, go to bed, and repeat. You know what I mean? There's like not really any time to do anything else. And it was just kind of,
Yeah, if you do it for too long.
Yeah. So I guess I should just like ride the wave out and just let whatever happens. So that a way, like you said, it might be something that's good and maybe I might enjoy that and maybe even switch my schedule up a little bit, but who knows? We'll see. Try to step back and just kind of let the wave ride. If I book some of those days, that's cool. But if not, then fuck it. I
Yeah, I
can
think
draw
that's
or
like a
do
healthy
something.
way to like go into it too, like during a slow season, because it's like there's certain areas in your life like going through a busy season of life, whether that's work or whatever you're focusing on. Those areas are going to be neglected, so now you can go back and like focus on those a little bit, and dial. You were saying you wanted to create more art and stuff, and you're wanting to spend more time trips, with family and everything, and like now you have the opportunities to do that. So burnout was your thing that pushes you to like those realizations.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've talked before too about wanting to dive into other styles of tattooing. I think there's, if you want to, I think that there's ways in like a slow season to where you can use it to your advantage. Like if you can all of a sudden take on a new, like you talked one day about you'd be down to try more color realism.
Oh yeah, I'd definitely like to.
So it's like, but on a normal schedule, if you're working, your normal busy weeks and stuff, you don't necessarily want to fit something else in on top of that, the anime stuff you're doing.
Yeah.
But if it's like you're working less days for the winter months or whatever, all of a sudden it's not such a strain to be like, I'm going to book some really cheap, like hook some homies up because I want to try
Yeah.
a couple things, you know.
Yeah.
And that, you know, if you use it strategically like that, it could lead you to a whole different path.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. And we were even talking like the just making artwork and stuff like that. That gives you the opportunity to, you know, you can make those as prints and sell those. So that can even be a stream of income too, eventually down the line. But it gives you a chance to like dive into a style that you don't
Yeah.
get to do on paper or painting or something too.
Yeah. Regardless of anything, like creating's always going to be a source of income some way, somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely do want to like try some other styles. Well, I've done some like colorish realism before, but now that like I have learned and honed in on like my color skills, I feel like I could provide
It'd be a whole different ballgame.
exactly. I feel like I could provide a way better quality color realism piece. But I've like I have put some things out once before, no bites on them. A lot of people are just like anime and anime only. You know what I mean? You're not allowed to do anything else, or we don't want anything else from you besides cartoons, anime, games. Like that's that. You know what I mean? But yeah, maybe if I like whip up some things in the kitchen and fucking put it out, maybe it'll end up selling. Put a little deal on there, hook up some people, and then be like, see what I could do.
Yeah, I mean, you never know when, and something could just like you could really hone in on something that pops off. You have a unique way of approaching it, and you know you create something custom out of it, having to do with like your anime and mixing something else. However you do things, but I feel like it also could come in handy. Although you still want to be strictly an anime artist, you've talked about conventions you've done before, where it seemed like anime wasn't really popping in that area.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you can put out an ad if you're trying to book ahead of time for a convention and there's like a bunch of people that bite and it's no problem filling it. And then you say like, but for some reason, when I go to this other city or this other area, this convention I've been to multiple times, like it's really hard for me to book that event with anime. It's like no one wants anime around there. So if it really is a demographic thing, and what is something that could be more popular in certain areas, and it's like I guess it never hurts to have another style in your arsenal,
Right.
you know, bag of tricks.
I mean, I definitely do like some like neo trad as well, but I don't really have like a crazy amount to really post. And that's probably because at the time when Olivia was working for us, I'd pass like any neo trad off in the beginning to her because that's what she wanted to do. So it's just on me. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's on me. That's what I ended up wanting to do. I still enjoy anime. That'll never leave, but definitely want to tinker around with more.
I think it's interesting to watch, like because I've seen other artists go through like similar things when they're wanting to break out into another style, and it's almost they've specialized in one style for so long that it makes it hard for them to like almost. I don't want to say have the trust, but like have the trust in someone to like do something else because they've just not seen it or they don't even know you're into it. And
Oh yeah,
because you've been, I would say, like established as an anime artist for like the last 3-4 years, solid, like every day. So I can see that being difficult.
yeah, and that's definitely like everything that I post, man. Is mainly like anime. Occasionally, you'll get something else out of me when I do book it, but it's always fucking anime. Again, that's cool.
Yeah.
He said, I love it.
I'm curious you guys' take on like talking about like slow season. So this whole past year, we've been seeing online on Instagram, Facebook, all these artists talking about like it's just been the slowest year ever.
Right.
And you know, some people kind of blame it on like the economic thing, which all of these could be a factor. You know, I'm not saying it is or isn't, but the economic thing. With inflation and just life's really expensive right now. People don't have as much expendable money.
Right.
Another side of the equation is I'm hearing a lot about oversaturation, that in conjunction with inflation and stuff like that. It's just making it to where like there's less people coming to you because
Right.
there's way more artists and there's less people having spendable money. It just means slow for
Yeah.
tattooers. So I'm curious with like if this has been the slowest year that people can remember in 15 years, which is what I'm seeing on all these Facebook groups and stuff, then what does the slow season look like in the already slow year? You know,
Right. And
is
so
it gonna get really bad, or what do you guys think?
I see. So going off of like the current thing and like seeing other tattooers, see a lot of tattooers quitting right now. A lot of people. I see a lot of people taking up other jobs, doing other things. I feel really lucky that I've not really felt slow. I've made more money than I made last year and the year prior. So it's like I see that other people are, but I think I see a lot of things that artists could be doing differently that they're not doing. I think just like being in the studio and like taking walk-ins and being a tattooer and being available and not necessarily I don't think there's anything wrong with specializing, so I don't want to make it seem that way, but like if you're only putting out one thing that people they don't even know that you're open to taking walk-ins or if someone's not in the studio. So I see a lot of those artists that are like the specialized artists that are probably not in their studios other than when they're tattooing, kind of complaining about it. So it's like a double-edged sword, but also doing the events and stuff that we've done and stuff like that. Like there's ways to still generate the income, I think, and it's just like people aren't doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't say that's also demographic or geographic because in one area, one thing's busier than others, and we have a lot of industry around us. And I think that's a lot of the consumers of tattoos are blue collar workers, and we have a lot of that around us.
I think you could end up being just a big blow to someone's pride when we're talking about, and like I mean would be the case for me too for sure. If you're doing like a specialized type of work and typically you're pretty like you're booked out, you get to do pretty much what you want all the time. You know what I mean? Like that is more spoiled than the tattoo industry has been in the past decades, you know, and we've
Right.
talked about that. Like it's just different now. But to be used to doing that for the last few years because the industry has just been in such a boom, and everyone gets to do what they want and specialize in it, to have to go through such a slow season to where you have to take a step back from that to start doing walk-ins and kind of just taking on everything, I think it would really be a blow to people's pride.
I can see
You know.
that for sure.
And I definitely wouldn't be against it. Like at the end of the day, one thing Greg taught me right when I started apprenticing, he gave me this situation. He said, if you have a certain style of work that you want to do, but so-and-so comes in, like, but you need work, and so-and-so comes in and says, hey, I want this little tattoo. It could be an infinity sign or whatever, and you have bills to pay. Are you going to say yes or are you going to say no?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, tattooing is your bread and butter.
Right.
Like after all of the good times and the bad times and whatnot, after the specializing and getting to do what you want all the time, being booked, and then the opposite, like at the end of the day, this is how you support your family and it's how you pay your bills.
Right.
So I never want to be like, it's okay to turn down work if you're booked, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I never want to be the person who just will, I guess, at the turn down tattoos to the detriment of my own career, to where like I'm no longer making enough money and I have to get another job. If I
Right.
have to, I will be in the studio like taking walk-ins.
Right. And
you
I
know?
think that's like Yogi Bear has like he has like what he considers like there's a tattooer and there's a tattoo artist kind of thing. And I feel like I'm a tattooer. I feel like that's like, you know, I want to be in the studio. Like I want to be in a tattoo studio more time. If I'm on vacation, I'm probably gonna pop in a tattoo studio. Like I love tattooing as a whole.
You love the culture,
Yeah,
everything.
it's like everything about it, and it's like it's almost like before art, I'm a tattooer. So like I'm never felt like I was above doing any tattoo kind of thing. Not saying that's how you said that like you feel that way at all, But I don't. Yeah, my brain lost me there.
It's getting dark too early now, bro.
Yeah,
It's only like 7 o'clock right now, and I'm tired.
right. Yeah, for
But
sure.
it's been
Yeah.
dark for like an hour and a
Right,
half.
Yeah. But yeah, the time change is wild. But yeah, like I'm kind of agreeing with you in this aspect of like, yeah, it could be prideful or hurt your pride, but also I'm always down to do whatever kind of thing, and just being that artist, because there wouldn't be a slow time if you're willing to do those things. I guess
Yeah.
kind of what I was kind of trying to get to, really roundabout. Sorry for anyone listening.
You was talking about the oversaturation of like I guess artists now, correct? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing a lot about. What do you
Yeah.
guys think about it?
What there definitely is like a lot of artists, and what I was gonna ask or maybe even talk about, like because of the oversaturation of artists, everybody has a different price point. Typically, I'd say, or at least maybe in our studio, we might be a little bit higher than the ones around us. Not for sure. I'm not gonna say 100%, but just based off my knowledge, that's what I would say. Now, with the economy being still kind of wonky in the sense, and people having limited funds, do you believe that maybe, just maybe, they are okay with the lack of quality? Like,
Kind of sacrificing for the budget, kind of.
right. Like, they're okay with, yeah, they'll still get like a solid tattoo around here for the most part, but, it may not be like a Tracy tattoo. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Tracy's black and gray, but it's still black and gray.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, instead of, X amount of dollars that you're charging, it's like half of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Do you think most people are just okay with that?
I think it could be like that could be a factor. I'm not saying it's not.
I think price definitely affects it one way or another. People either come to you, kind of what we talked about, people come to you because you're more expensive, or they're going to come to you because you're cheap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's a kind of what they're attracted to, maybe.
Yeah. I will say, though, as far as like even what we're surrounded by, like, so I'm 150 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you break it down hourly, I think you are too.
Yeah, basically, if you break it down, yeah.
Right.
And that is a very normal rate, even in our area.
Which
you know
is
what I mean?
statistically lower than the
Yeah.
United States, because Rob Schmid from Electrum did the panel of like what it was on average. 160, it was 168, I believe, to like 250 is the average hourly rate in America for tattoos.
Yeah, so even at our shop, like me and you being around there, and then Olivia and Travis, I believe, are both a little under that, maybe 125 an hour.
Olivia's at this one, Thorn now. But
Yeah. Yeah, but so they're just a hair under that. So I feel like those rates, either one, is not too out of the ordinary. Because even if you go, like, all the guys at Skeleton Crew are 200 an hour. Greg at the Needles End's 200 an hour.
Yeah, but all those
Adam Stoner is more than me. I don't know how much he is, but
Yeah,
like
I'm not
I can
sure.
just point to all these.
all those
people.
guys are at the same quality. You know what I mean? I'm talking about like
There's a lot
the
of
other studios that are little low around us. You
Okay.
know what I mean? Without saying
throwing
anything.
shade or anything like that. There just are there are studios who charge less. You know what I mean?
an average Joe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What's even the going rate at? I mean, you're different than the other artists at your shop, but what's going on over there?
Generally, so Alyssa, basically, she's around 100 an hour. Still quoting things by the piece,
And
being a newer artist.
She's 1 year in, maybe.
Yeah, and it's her speed isn't there to where she feels 100% comfortable yet charging hourly, so she's doing things by the piece. Jacob's 125 an hour, and then I still do a lot of my half and full day rates, but it still averages 150 to, I think it's like 150 to 160, somewhere around there if you break it down. But yeah, so generally just right around the same ballpark as most people in our area.
I think my biggest thing with that is like it can be the same hourly rate as someone else, but how much time do I spend on that tattoo? Because I might spend a whole lot more hours on that same piece than than someone else will.
Right.
So it still could be double the cost of dude down the street who also charges $150 an hour. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, back to your point, I think it's I definitely have seen it. I've seen, like, people keep saying, I run into people here and there who just talk about, I still want to get tattooed by you one day and this and that. They might not even know how much I charge. They've never asked. They just keep saying like they want one of my pieces, but then along the way they're getting tattooed by this person and by that person. And like, you know, they'll be like, yeah, I still want to get tattooed by you. Like, I just need to save up for it. And then they'll show me this new tattoo they got of, you know, so maybe they think I'm too expensive, but it's not like we've even talked about it.
Yeah.
And that could be a thing. It could just be the persona. Like we even a minute before we started filming, we were talking about
It's like misconception.
yeah, like some people automatically assume that you're booked out farther than you are.
Yeah.
And then they're shocked if they find out otherwise. And I feel like that goes the same way with price too. They just feel like they see the specialized work that you're posting online and how you're branding, and they just assume that you're really expensive.
Right.
And you might not be more expensive than anyone else.
Yeah. And I think a lot of that probably comes from, I don't know many tattoo artists that put their prices openly online, especially at a higher quality. Like artists are usually not posting it. So the consumer that's looking through portfolios, they don't even know, and they hear it from 10 other people. There was a misconception that me and Slater were the most expensive people to get tattooed, not just in Columbus, but in Indiana as a whole. And
That's
it was
crazy.
we were like baffled. We're charging less than a lot of people around us actually. So
yeah, I charge
that was
nickels
years
and
ago.
pennies.
yeah, and that was years ago when that was happening. So it's like, if you're not putting it online, not informing your clientele what the price is, it's up to interpretation or kind of
That's crazy. I forgot all about that.
right. Yeah,
I know an anime guy in Indy who charges like my full day's his half day.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But
know-
I mean, he also tattoos like George Kittle from San Francisco 49ers and all these kind of
Right.
people. So
Yeah, I know people that charge $100 an hour to $4,000 a day to there's artists $10,000 a day.
Yeah. So dealing with the slow season, you might be onto something, people willing to sacrifice. And it could come down to the type of tattoo as well. Like if they want to get tattooed, but it's not going to be some big grand piece. If it's just a piece that anyone could do, then they might just go to someone else.
yeah.
I think immediacy affects that too. Kind of like going off of like Amazon. People want stuff the next day. So if they think that you're booked out till February when you're not, they're not gonna hit you up for a small tattoo when they don't think you can fit them in till February, when they just want a name tattooed on them that anyone around can do.
Right.
So that could play into it too, like the artists not posting their availability and stuff like that. I see a lot of artists don't as well.
I'm finna post up at Redbird and start taking walk-ins.
Hey, yeah.
Well, I mean,
More than welcome.
You said, I guess you could just post up at your own shop, because the other day you checked the phone log, and
Dude.
you said there was like 25 missed calls, and they were all about tattoos. He's like,
27 messages, and every single one was about a tattoo. Bro, we answer that phone, and it's either like a scam or nobody's on the line or a
piercing.
fucking piercing. When do y'all call? Because like I don't see these. I don't hear this. When we answer, we're not getting that. So like, what the hell?
They
There
wait
was
till you leave.
27 messages, bro. I talked to Travis. I was like, bro, I said, we have to keep this phone out here now.
probably on Sundays and Mondays when no one's there.
Well, I'm typically there on Sundays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess you are.
Well, if I'm busy, I'm not going to lie. I'm not taking it. And if it's just me, I'm probably just going to let that go to the messages and I'll get back to you or something, just because I'm trying to work and get that stuff done, especially if it's just me in the studio.
Well, and that's my thing too. Like if I'm tattooing and that phone is back in the closet, you know what I mean? Like down
Yeah.
the little hallway in the closet.
Yeah.
We hear it ringing, but like if I'm working and tattooing, I'm usually not answering it.
Yeah.
And if I'm not working, I'm not there.
Right.
That's
Right.
how we operate at the studio. So
Right.
it's like, therefore, I really just never answer the phone. So
Yeah.
I mean, sorry.
No. Yeah. I mean, I'm the exact same way,
It
bro.
makes me feel better that you are saying that too, because I'm like, good, because I never answer that phone.
Yeah, bro. I'm sorry,
I'd
but
be so
like,
irritated.
if I'm tattooing and like you call, like even if it's my personal phone, dude, it almost like kind of angers me a little bit. I'm like, just let me fucking work.
Mhm.
And usually it's somebody I know. I'm like, dude, you know I'm
better.
working.
Yeah.
Like Greg did it a couple of times and Paul did it. I'm like, guys, y'all know I work.
But like I said before, if I needed to, like if I was not booked and I was scrapping for business, I would be at the shop when I'm not working and I would
Yeah.
be answering that phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I needed to, all it needs is half a ring. I'm on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's how I'm like, I was always so big on it. I remember we had the rule of good vibrations. That phone didn't ring more than twice. Like
Yep.
someone was getting that phone.
Yeah,
no
we
matter what.
rotated it
Yeah.
for a while.
Yep. I think that was a really solid thing that we did with the phone. It just went to the next person, like all the
Yeah.
way around every time.
See, sometimes it just gets annoying because it's like it almost rings as soon as I put gloves on.
Oh, yeah,
and like I get
always.
like a minute or two into tattooing. I'm like, dude, like it just kind of throws you off. You know what I mean? I just need somebody who's going to be at the studio and just answering phone calls or
Yeah.
something.
That's
just
why I say
working.
thank you, Greg. You saved me so much time throughout the day. For real. He really does.
Yeah. Yeah, I might have to hire somebody to just fucking be there while I'm there or while somebody's there and just, hey, answer that phone.
Answer questions. Yep.
Yeah.
No, we do not pierce at Bankai.
No. So what's that place in Bloomington?
Crystal Moon. Yeah.
Crystal, bro. I keep telling everybody it's Crystal Dagger. Gosh, my
Yeah,
bad.
Crystal Moon, Annie and Judas are both there.
Annie
and that's
and
where we
Judas,
send
okay.
all of our piercing inquiries to.
Sweet. Crystal Moon. Don't let me forget that, Tracy, because that's where we send them.
I'll try.
He said, pull back.
You'll say Crystal Dagger.
I will
and I'll
say
be
Crystal
like,
Dagger.
No.
He said, no, it's Dagger Moon.
Yep. Both wrong.
It's Moon Knife, bro. No, we've been sending people to
This one, Thorn.
yeah,
Yeah.
Christy. Just because, and that's because we worked with her previously. Well, Liz did.
You did?
Yeah, I was gone from the Needles Inn at that point because when I left the Needles Inn, Liz, she was the piercer there while I was tattooing there, and then when I left, her tattoo apprenticeship started like the next day because my booth spot opened up.
Liz was a piercer there?
Yeah.
There's more things I just learned about Liz.
Oh, I thought you knew. Yeah,
No.
she started out piercing, so she's trained. She
Interesting.
knows it all. But then when we started, it was like after she got booked tattooing, then it's actually just a hassle to be trying to pierce too.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, you might be able to dedicate a day a week to it and try to schedule the whole day with just piercings. But if you're tattooing, then
It's a
like
45-minute phone call.
yeah,
Like,
and like, what are you gonna do? Stop tattooing,
Right.
set up for a piercing, do that, continue tattooing,
Yeah, I've
do
seen-
that over and over again as people come in. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know how it would work. So
I don't think it's fair to either person in that interaction, getting tattooed or pierced, to like have the
right being interrupted.
yeah.
You need to do one and one only.
Yeah.
It's hard to do double or both of them.
So
There's
yeah,
people who can do it, but
Yeah, but
yeah, I've not seen many people pull it off very well.
you'd have to do like a day of tattooing, day of piercing, day of tattooing, piercing, or just fix a schedule to where you're piercing or tattooing that day, and that's that.
Yep.
Dude, if we had a piercer, our piercer would fucking make crazy money. The amount of piercings that either walk in or just like call, nuts.
well in the same location we're in, when it was Good
Yeah.
Vibrations and Matt was there, Bridget did well piercing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And
A
she
solid
was
piercer.
she was the go-to one in town
Yep.
for sure.
Yep.
I mean, that was only at the time. There was only one other person piercing in town, and it just seems like most of the recommendations came to Bridget. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah, definitely came to our studio for
Is
sure.
there even a piercer in town anymore?
Yeah,
There is,
Ritual
yeah.
Adornment. I know they pierce as well, and I know there's a few other, I believe.
I honestly keep forgetting about that Ritual Adornment place.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. There's so many studios.
And we walked that dude, what
Tank.
was his Tank? Yeah, so he had sent Matt a message or something. Just was it podcast related?
He had
or
he had shot me a couple messages before, just sparking up conversation. We had
said-
some conversations around guitar and stuff like that.
he said something about he liked how encouraging you were, like in the tattoo industry or something like that. And then you were
kind of
like,
speaking to us as a whole and stuff too. Yeah.
yeah. And then so you were like, we were hanging out one day, maybe it was after a podcast or something. I forget what we were doing, but you were like, you want to go meet this guy with me? I'm just going to walk up in there. I was like, yeah, sure. So we just went and met him, and we were like,
Super solid dude.
yeah, we were like, here in town, we don't really have a piercing recommendation. We've been sending people elsewhere, like to the surrounding cities. So, just met him, and yeah, he pierces and tattoos both over there.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
which I don't know how. Like, how do you juggle that? Like we just talked about.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen a few artists do it. Lily, she did it for a while, and I don't know how she. I don't know. Couldn't wrap my head around it. There's no way. There's so much with piercing, on top of tattooing, that mixing the two together would not do well for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, Tells works with Greg at the Neil's Inn.
Okay.
So she pierces too. But it's the same thing. We just haven't actually worked with her, and
Right.
it's like, I'm sure, I've seen Greg teach multiple people to pierce, including my wife.
Right.
So like, I know that everything is sterile and good and whatnot, but it's like, I can't technically recommend her because I haven't
Right.
worked with her,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't not recommend her, but it's just one of those things. Like,
Yeah,
I
for sure.
don't really know enough about it to tell you like this person's a good piercer.
Yeah.
This person's not a good piercer. It's just what I hear from
Right.
other people.
Yeah, I pretty much, like, if I don't know someone, because we get a lot of calls being in a tourist town. We get a lot of calls from like people all over the place. Like, hey, we're just in town for the day. Do you guys pierce? Well, no, but I'll usually send them my recommendations. Like, well, we're actually in whatever other city. Normally, we're just here for the day. Do you have any other recommendations in this area? I always recommend everyone go to safepiercing.org, which is the Association of Professional Piercing. They've got like a catalog. Anyone who is part of the APP, I just know they're held to a high standard, and they're gonna likely get a good piercing.
Okay.
So I send a lot of
Safe piercing what?
safepiercing.org.
.org. Okay.
Yep, and that's the APP.
The one person I know 100% is like the guy to go to for piercings is Matt Vermillion.
Oh yeah, for sure.
but,
APP as
but
well.
he's all the way up in Plainfield,
Right,
which
Yep.
is over an hour from.
Yeah, I still
it's
recommend people of that area to him fairly often.
like an hour 15
Yeah.
to their shop.
Yep. Yeah, and Crystal Moon, their APP as well, and that's why I was sending people there, and then now knowing Judas is there, and I've seen her work firsthand. It's solid.
But yeah, man, slow season.
Yep, slow season.
I'm glad we got this podcast going on.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. It's good months to, slow winter nights or whatever. Like,
Drink some hot cocoa and
yeah, bro,
kick it with the boys.
do a
you know what I mean?
podcast, and at the same time, I feel like the winter is good for like everyone there for a few months is really just stuck inside.
Yeah, I think it's a good time for like reflection and like just catching up with family, friends, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a good time for them to reflect on subscribing to our channel.
Right. Yeah. Listening to.
Just go through and binge watch all these
Yeah.
episodes.
He said, if you're having a slow season, listen to the Uneducated podcast.
Yeah, but no, just a good time to be putting up videos for people to watch. I mean, people stuck inside. It's dark at like 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
You come home from work and you are sitting inside all night, just chilling, laying on the couch, watching TV, whatever.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad we're getting up and like working out again, man.
Yeah, that's
Because
been great.
it gets us up early, and as soon as we're out, like most days we're watching the sun come up. You know what I mean? and that gives us so much more time to do stuff.
Yep. I love getting up early.
I have been hitting the gym again last couple weeks.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not doing 6 a.m. No
Hey.
way.
You don't have to.
Yeah. And I won't.
Yep.
But I'm so happy for you guys.
No, yeah, no.
Love-
it
love
works
that for you.
schedule wise and everything, and like
Yeah.
how we have our lives kind of set up.
Honestly, I feel like getting up at 6 a.m. has been a little bit easier. There's some days that it kind of sucks, but
Yeah, when I'm
it's getting
sore.
easier for real. Yeah, whenever I'm fucking sore, I'm like, fuck it, let's get up.
Yeah,
Roll around in bed for a second.
yeah.
You guys taking any pre-workout or anything?
No. Usually I'll drink like generally like half of an energy drink sometimes. But yeah, no. I don't care for pre-workout.
So I guess pre-workout has like an overload of caffeine, but one of my clients,
A lot of it does. The high
Yeah.
stem ones for sure.
there was one of my clients, she was telling me that there's this pre-workout that you can get without like all that caffeine type ordeal, I guess, but it still gives you like the hyper focus that you need. I'm not exactly sure
Yeah.
what it is, but I guess there's stuff like that out there. That's one thing. Reason why I brought it up is I usually don't use pre-workout for the simple fact of the crazy amount of caffeine in there. It makes my heart feel weird. Fucks me up.
Yeah, those are like the normal high stem pre-workouts. It's because there's caffeine and then there's other things in there too that are meant to.
BCAAs and everything. Yeah.
And then they make non-stem pre-workout though that has more of, it could just be like pump ingredients, like muscle pump ingredients instead
like
of like
nitrous oxide and stuff like that. Yeah.
And then also probably more of what you're talking about is what is the term I'm looking for? It's like, what's Joe Rogan's supplement?
The Alpha Brain?
Yeah.
Nootropic.
Nootropics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'd take a nootropic. but
Yeah,
I
so-
actually take Alpha Brain.
So there's pre-workouts that are not focused around stimulants, but instead have more of like focus stuff in them, which still, it kind of gives you energy. Just it gives your brain energy, so you're not just like laggy, and that goes a long way in the gym because it's like kind of mind over body sometimes. Like
Yeah.
you have to,
Most of the time.
like mentally you have to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or you'll get hurt.
Absolutely.
But yeah, so I'm not against supplements. They're fun.
No, I think supplements are great. I think everything in moderation though is great.
Yeah. I had the conversation. The guy that used to own Columbus Fit, his name was Tom. I spent a season of life going to Columbus Fit, and we were talking about supplements one day because they sold stuff behind the counter.
Yeah.
And he said I don't like, nobody really should need pre-workout to work out. Like to want to work out, you should just be able to do it off of like, this is bettering my health, it's good for me,
Right.
this and that. But he said, if you need pre-workout to get your butt in the gym, then do it.
Right. Yeah.
Then I recommend it. Like if you're not going to work out without the supplement, then take the supplement and work out.
Right.
Like
yeah.
that's what I'll tell you to do. But if you can do it without it, then you should.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
So at this point, I'm not taking, I don't really take pre-workouts much anymore. I do have like a pump complex. It's like a creatine mix with some other stuff in there.
Yeah. I take
so I'll-
creatine, but I think creatine's good for your brain. It's good. There's a lot of other things it's good to reason to be taking.
Yeah, it's a very studied supplement for sure. But yeah, I'm not taking like a stimulant though. Like,
No.
I drink coffee in the morning and that's pretty much it for
You
caffeine.
drink coffee before you go work out?
Not specifically.
Okay.
I know a lot of
thought
people
that's what
that
you
that's what
saying.
they recommend for pre-workout. Chug an 8-ounce cup
Coffee?
of black coffee. And that, but I mean, you're gonna burn that. It's a natural, natural caffeine, so it's gonna be better for you than an energy drink or something.
I don't know. Hopefully I don't ever get to the day that I would need like a pre-workout. I feel pretty confident in what I'm doing now. I feel like having Matt in there kind of helps out too. You know what I mean? Somebody keeping you accountable and, I don't know if anybody knows, but I'm like double Matt's weight. So, whenever we're like doing cardio and stuff, Matt's kicking my ass. But
And the experience with cardio and stuff too doesn't help.
but it gives me like a competitive, like I'm competitive. And seeing him like he'll crank his machine up, I'm like, shit. Let me crank that up a couple notches with him. You know what I mean?
Can we make an edit out of this, like a cinematic, like I don't know. I'm picturing it right now, like Matt on the treadmill. He's like sitting there running, and Slade just
I'm just going faster.
Slade
It's going
just keeps
faster.
looking over at him and just popping it up,
But-
a little faster. Before you know it,
But
y'all
it's
are
the
just
same
like,
way throughout the
do.
gym, like the accountability though. Like it's even our journey going to the gym started with like the accountability there of like if he doesn't text me at 6, I've already texted him. It's like vice versa always, and then like same way in the gym because like Slater's bigger dude than me, he's lifting more than me, and it pushes me to be like, okay, I need to push more, like or try to, but we're being a lot smarter about it. We're not trying to hurt
Kill
ourselves
ourselves,
now.
yeah.
We're just trying to sustain and more for longevity, being healthier. But
Yeah. But yeah, definitely having Matt in there fucking helps out, man. Like I said, it pushes me. I went from, I don't even remember the last time I ran before working out. Probably a long time. And then we go straight back to it and was like doing 3.1 miles of 5K every fucking day. And watching him do it, I'm like, fuck, I got to do it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
right.
yeah,
I'd get so I was having like shin splints and stuff. I was like, fuck, push through, man.
Yeah.
Push through. Matt's over here with like 36, 32 minutes, whatever the fuck it was for his 5K. I'm like, gotta get it.
yeah, dude. So when I started working out, it was when I first started at Cummins, and I was 19, mid 19, I think. And so each of the Cummins plants had a gym, right? So I worked on third shift, and we're on these individual teams. So there was maybe 10 people on my team, and it was all like, there were a few girls on our team, but it was mostly guys, and they were like all my age. We were all similar age. So we were on third shift. So we started working out together, all of us in the gym there. And like when we got off each morning, so it'd be like 6 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
We just worked all night. But then before we went home, we'd go back and hit the gym for an hour or whatever. And we just got, I don't know, we just got so stupid in there. We had this like crew, and we were all ate up, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But it was fun because we would just, like, when it was time, we were all about, like, we would all scoop up pre-workout at the same time, throw some creatine in there, throw this in there, and then just make these concoctions, and then go back there and just like go buck wild. But also we would talk mad crap to each other while we were working out. And we had this motto that said, negative motivation equals positive motivation. So, which,
Slater said, yeah, you should hear Slater in the sauna.
yeah. So I don't, really know how far that goes with some people, but for us, it was just fun, and it kind of worked because like we would just make fun of each other so hard back there, just like purposely try to piss you off so that you'll do that one last rep,
Right,
that you quit on or whatever.
Gym banter is funny. It's
Yeah.
always been funny. Especially I boxed for so long, so like that's a completely different kind of gym banter. Like, like you're saying, you're like making someone mad to do another rep, but you're just like pushing other people in different ways. It's I don't know, it's fun. It's funny. We hear a lot of crazy stuff in locker rooms too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was fun, man. Because like I've definitely gone through. I've taken a lot of different supplements, including like gaining weight has always been near impossible for
Right.
me. So, and it definitely keeping it on. So I used to drink like mass gainer and just try to down like thousands of calories. You know what I mean? Like you'll just drink a mass gainer shake, which essentially is
A protein shake with
a bunch more calories and,
and
carbs and
everything,
stuff.
Yeah.
And so it'd be like you just mix up one of those big scoops in the shaker bottle, and it'd be like 1,500 calories, and you
So
just drink it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I would do that multiple times a day. So I would basically adding in enough calories for like you're eating multiple extra meals a day.
Right.
Although it's not really a meal, it's just supplementing, right?
I
But
think a lot of people forget that about supplements, that it is a supplement.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not actual. It's not supposed to replace a nutritious diet.
Right.
It's just,
Yeah. And a lot of people use it that way.
Yep. I wish I could give you some of my fat, dog. I'd give it to you in a heartbeat, bro. Drop a few pounds. Here's 25, bro.
It's like, keep it.
Yeah.
No, I
Yep.
think it's super important. Joshua Carlton, and he was one that like really inspired me to like get in shape and stuff, because like I fell out after boxing, and then Josh lost a ton of weight, and I watched a bunch of other tattooers do it too, and they were talking about like how much better it made them feel tattooing, and like so
it does, man. Like,
Yeah.
because I get even so physically, I'll hurt on a long day of tattooing,
Right.
but also like I get mentally bogged down too.
Right.
And it's almost like if you do nothing, then you feel worse, versus like if you want to have
Yeah.
more energy, then oddly enough you have to exert energy.
Right.
So like working out, it takes energy, but it also, like, once you're adjusted to it, it also gives you more energy too.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's good for mental clarity with tattooing, and for physicality of your body's not breaking down, you know.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's one of those important things in your life. Like, take care of your heart, mind, and body, and they all kind of take care of each other if you're taking care of them.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, if I don't fucking work out in the morning, I could tell that like mentally I'm a little bit more irritable and not like in a decent mood. You know what I mean? Like, whereas now, since we've been working out, like I'm ready to go. Every morning when we get home, or whenever I get home, I feel good, ready to get shit done for the day.
Mm-hmm.
But before I started working out, it was the complete opposite. It was a drag to wake up, drag to do anything, fuck everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's a real thing. I think and I've heard a lot of, I'll just say, like, I guess high level people or even entrepreneurs. Like, I just follow so many of these people
Right.
on Instagram and
Yeah.
stuff, posting like motivational stuff, and they're always just saying like, this is what a normal day looks like for this percentage of millionaires or
Yeah.
like entrepreneurs that are successful and this and that. And it always has to do with like working out.
At least for 15 minutes, they're moving their body for at least 15 minutes. All of them, like Alex Hormozy, Tony Robbins, like any of those high level people, they all recommend movement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's Tony say in the morning? Do something that
You don't want to do.
Yeah,
Do
do something
you don't want to do. Every
Start
day.
off your morning doing something that you absolutely don't want to do, and it's probably going to be like the hardest thing you're going to do that day.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, everything else is going to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Sometimes the gym is definitely that. The sauna is
bro.
definitely that sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to it. Like, we know for sure scientifically that like the biggest stress reducer, and also like anxiety and depression reducer, is working out.
Yeah, physical activity of some kind.
Yeah. I mean, it does things like releases endorphins and this and that. And so they're like, you know, it would be more beneficial for anyone who struggles with depression or whatever to just consistently be working out and eat a better diet. You know what I mean? That would do better than like medicine, you know.
Oh, I agree.
Medicine would be the last resort.
Yeah, and I think there's, and I don't want to speak out of pocket because I don't take any antidepressants or anything like that. But like I do know like therapists will like they recommend those to you so you can work on the things and then kind of wean yourself off of them to where you don't need them. And some of those things that you should be working on are your body and your mind and stuff like that.
Just work out. It takes care of everything.
Yeah, I really do. I really think it helps a ton.
I used to be on antidepressants, and that shit fucked me up, bro.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Working out, though, it's just all natural. It helps you.
Yeah,
It's good for you.
For sure.
Did y'all hit the gym today?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
You want to go again?
Not tonight.
Not tonight. Back in the morning.
Got me wanting to work out.
We'll be in there tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. if you want to join us.
6 a.m. Total Fitness.
Shooby. No.
All right, so at 6 a.m. is when we wake up. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
We might get there at like
5:45.
6:20ish.
So the truth comes out.
Yeah,
I'm
about
usually up at like
6:20ish.
5:45, still laying there like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 6 a.m. Hit my alarm goes off. Instantly text Matt. As soon as he responds, out of bed,
Yep.
getting dressed. If I gotta take care of my.
So you're usually just praying that he does not respond.
Oh, regardless if he doesn't respond, because it took him, I think, like 5 minutes this morning to respond.
I'd be
But
back
I was
asleep
still
by that time.
No, I was already still going. Well, Riley had ended up hitting me up this morning as well, but he hit me up at like 5:30 or something. He's like, "Yo, I'm up. I'm ready." I'm like, "Dude, I just got up, but I'll be there."
Bro, if I was still in bed, like let's say I texted you and I'm waiting for you to respond,
You're already asleep.
like if I'm in bed waiting for your message back and I didn't get out of bed yet, if it took 5 minutes, bro, I would be back asleep, bro.
See, I push myself to
Conked out.
get out of bed so I don't do that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Feet on the floor.
Yep.
Yep. Having gym clothes set out the night before, doing stuff like that. That's like the trick. Is like everything's in the same place every day. I already know I've got. If I want caffeine, I know it's in the fridge. Grab and go. I used to set up my coffee maker in the morning, so I know like I'm just hitting that button while I get dressed, so I can chug coffee and as little things that I have to think about to get out the door.
Yeah.
To set you up for a successful day.
Yeah, basically.
Well, yeah, man. Slow season.
Yep.
Slow season working out.
Yep.
Work
Take care
out.
of yourselves.
Work out during slow season. Take care of
Yep.
yourself.
Hey, that's the perfect time to work out.
Yep.
Or at
Do
least
other
start.
things.
Yep.
Do other things that make
Take
you
care of
happy.
that mind. Take care of your body.
Yep.
Do the things you want to do.
Yeah, dog. If you want to do tattooing for a long time, you got to
Yep.
take care of that body.
Mm-hmm.
Stretch.
Yep.
I personally I like practice yoga and stuff like that because I feel like it's essential to doing what we do. We're in a lot of weird positions
Yeah.
for a long period of time.
I think that essentially that's what even made us start working out is just, I'm pretty sure you was having neck issues too. Yeah, he was having neck issues. I had neck issues.
And we're like, bro, when we were
Yeah.
going to the gym every single day, we felt a lot
feeling
better.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm already feeling better
Way
again. I kind
better.
of fell off the
Yeah.
last year. So getting back into it feels good. Already feeling better. So
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have a different motivation for it this time. Trying to just feel more comfortable in my skin, you know what I mean? I'm tired of being the fat boy, you know what I'm saying? So
You sexy to me, bro.
he said,
still
just
fat
wait.
as fuck, bro.
He said,
I take my shirt
loading.
off before a shower and I'm like, God, that's gross. So yeah.
So
trying
he's about to be a monster.
Yeah, I swear to God. I'm gonna drop all this fat. Maybe I might get big a little bit, but
Yeah, I mean that ends up being my biggest problem is that I'm not just doing it for health and fitness. I'm always trying to like anything that I do, I just do it. Like I'm all in it. It's all I want to do. So I can get like that with working out too.
Yeah, I've been there for
and
sure.
I just want to get jacked and just want to be in the best shape of my life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like that every time I start working out, and now it always ends up burning me out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then I fall out of it. So I need to focus more on like, no, this is like so that I'm not breaking down at the age of 55 already. You know what I mean? Like I just
Yeah.
need to do it for my health and blood flow and organs and like
Right. You should actually start
Just
worrying about those things. 'Cause
literally
we had
Yeah.
shared that quote.
just be healthy rather than like I don't need to be jacked. you
Yeah,
know?
because
Yeah.
the things we're doing today are what's going to affect us at 60.
Yep.
So
yep.
we had shared that quote one day, and we're like, yeah, the things you do in your 20s are why you feel like you do in your 30s. So
Mm-hmm.
The unfortunate truth is we're not gonna get younger. So
yep.
Yeah.
go ahead and prevent that.
Mm-hmm. And I think about it a lot more now too, because I mean I'm only 31, but still, like if I'm not using my body, I will still wake up after a day of tattooing before and just feel broken down.
Yeah.
And so I do later in life like want to, I think everyone has dreams of like some type of retirement or wanting to travel or this
Yeah.
and that, or like I want to, travel the country more, or like visit other countries, or hike more, or
Right.
camp more, all this stuff. And so,
Can't
and-
do that if you're not healthy.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
And I want to do those
Yeah.
things now and feel good as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but especially like some of those pages I follow, they're like, if this isn't your lifestyle now of being active and stuff, then like outside of work and this
Right.
and that, like doing things to take care of yourself, then what makes you think that when you're 60, you're going to want to do that?
Right.
Like, what
Or
is
be
this?
able to.
Yeah, or be able to. Like, what is this dream that you have of just
Yeah.
changing your entire life to go? Like, you're not going to do that if you're
Right.
not doing it right now. So I've been thinking about that more. Like,
Yeah.
Yep. I'm glad I've like realized like earlier than I feel like some do that life is a long game.
Mhm.
Like there's nothing short about this. So it's like everything, like whether it's financial or our bodies, we need to be taking care of all of those things that
Yeah.
sustain.
The things you do now are gonna matter later. So
Yeah,
go ahead,
everything
it.
you do.
Always.
Yep.
Always. And at the end of the day, everybody deserves to be happy in their own skin. So
100%.
only person that can change that is, us.
Yeah.
So just fucking do it.
Yep.
Nike that bit.
Yeah.
every step's another step, dog.
Every step's
Every
another
step's
step, bro.
Especially on those stairs.
Dude, good God.
The stair stepper.
Yeah, we've been hitting the stairs.
Cool.
Yeah, bro. We had like 150 flights or whatever the other day. That's
Trying to do
nuts.
that zone 2 cardio.
I've been hitting those for my cardio lately. Well, I think so. The last cycle I had in the gym before I fell out again for my cardio, I was doing the row machine a lot, and they do that quite a bit in
Yeah.
CrossFit. So that was my exposure to it. But it'll definitely get you winded pretty fast, and
yeah.
it's like a full body thing.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
But the last week or two, I've been hopping on the sit down bike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just cycling, and you can kind of up the resistance or whatever.
Yeah.
And you can just burn up your legs pretty quick. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah.
So even on days where it's not leg day, you know what I mean? I'm still pumping blood through my legs.
Right. Yeah, I think that's important for sure. We kind of switch up cardio. We've not been on the bikes at all. We used to do we would do like bikes like after leg day is what I feel like that's what we used to do.
Probably.
As like, but it'd be like the lighter legs that we would do because we're doing some form of cardio, whether we're only doing 15 minutes, we're still doing some type of cardiovascular every day in the gym. So,
Dude, those bikes are the real deal, bro. Like, you ever seen the physique of a cyclist, someone
Oh,
who
yeah.
rides a lot? They're like, they might not be doing squats at all,
Right.
but if they just cycle every day, dude, their
Their
quads,
legs are defined.
their
Oh, yeah.
quads are built, bro. Like right here in front.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Bikes
yeah,
are
it's
no
good.
joke. We were doing that for a minute too. We were
Yeah.
doing, like,
last time we worked out.
Yeah, we're doing 10 miles out almost every day.
Oh, you're talking about like legit biking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were doing like,
Honestly, that shit was kind of fun though.
yeah, that was fun. Just felt like a kid, just skirt
Yeah.
all over town.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
I like riding my bike. It's actually a mountain bike. It's not a road bike, but
Yeah.
That's what ours are.
Yeah.
I like I mean, most of the time we just ride around as a family, like with the kids,
Right.
So we don't go very far and like not fast. But the times where I do just hop on my bike and go out and ride, which isn't often, but still, it's always like it's pretty enjoyable.
Oh, yeah. I always love it.
Yeah.
That's why I like running outside. I don't really enjoy the treadmill a whole lot. Like I like to hit trails and be out in nature because that's like another area of my life that I do enjoy. I enjoy nature a lot, so it gets me to be outside and in the woods a little bit.
I want to start running outside. Maybe whenever it's a little bit warmer. I'm prone
Yeah.
to getting sick, so sweating in the cold might fucking not be the best idea. But I remember there's a guy that you tattooed that was in the sauna with us, and he was just talking about the runner's high and how he can't get
Yeah,
it on
it's real.
treadmill. I've never experienced it, obviously, but that's why I'd like to run outside and maybe
Yeah.
see if I could fucking
Yeah, you
feel
definitely
what
can.
everybody else feels when they fucking run outside.
There's like a certain point for me. It's like, so if I get 3 miles in, I'm like, I could stop and whatever. But like if I can hit like 6 miles, there's like it's like I can just run forever. It's
Yeah.
wild. I never understood like the runner's high, but it's like it's different for everyone. You get to a certain point where it's autopilot running.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm excited to try that one day.
Yeah, we'll do some running outside for sure.
Yeah, I know me and you talked about doing a Spartan race and the little
Yep.
Tough Mudder, I think
Yeah.
is what it's called. Yeah, you ever heard of those?
Yeah, I did a Tough Mudder. It was a 8K.
Okay.
So what, five something miles maybe? It was at Saraland a few years ago when they hosted a Tough
Okay.
Mudder.
Don't
Yeah.
they do one every year?
Maybe
I
they
think
still
I think
do
it's
it.
every year
That's what
around
it's at this
July
year, I
is what homie was saying.
I think you're right. I do think they still do it. I just had only done it one time with a group of people. It was a lot of fun. And it wasn't even just straight running, because at the obstacles, you have to stop and wait because there's kind of a line of people before you can go. If it's climbing over a wall or like whatever
Right.
it is. But that made it fun because I'm not a big runner and I never have been. Like just dead running is not enjoyable to me for miles and miles at a time. And so having it broken up like every quarter mile, there was an obstacle that you do, and that was a lot of fun
Yeah.
because you
sounds
also
fun.
get to pull yourself up and do
those
use
obstacles and
muscles
stuff.
and stuff
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I'll say I don't love running by any means, but I love the mental aspect of running, which makes me like, I guess, love running. But that would make it a lot easier. That's why I like trails, because it's like constantly having to think about where I'm running. I have to be very alert of where I'm stepping and turning and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
it's more agile
Yes.
trail running.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only done that once or twice, but it is fun.
Yeah, I love it. Well, I'll hit some trails. Get Tracy to run at 6 a.m. outside.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Right. Watching the sunrise when you're running.
That sounds
He
actually pretty
said
cool.
sounds terrible.
Sounds great for you, dude.
He said take a photo.
Bro, since we've been working out and getting it in and building up our stamina, we're gonna have to do that shit whenever we go to Oregon.
Oh, we're
Fucking-
running when we go to Hawaii, dude.
Oh yeah. I forgot all about fucking Hawaii. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Yep.
Hike up some shit or
Guess that's the perfect time to plug. We'll be at the Triple Crown convention in
Yep.
Hawaii in January.
Oahu.
Yeah, that'd be tight.
It'll be fun.
Well, boys,
Trying to
Yeah,
wrap
ready
this
to-
one up.
I think that's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, man. Good luck in this slow season, everyone, that we might go into here soon. I mean, apparently a lot of people have been talking about it. It's just been a slow year. So, people here and there feel it. But I think from our conversation today, I would recommend diving into other stuff that you're passionate about.
Yeah,
You know
paint
what I
some
mean?
flash.
Yeah.
Draw, read, do things for yourself outside of it. Get in the gym.
Whatever interests you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Do art that you don't make time for now. Could do some video work. You could make beats, like some sick tracks, you know what I
Right.
mean? Download FL Studio and just do it.
Learn to play a new instrument.
Learn an instrument. Spend more time with family.
Yep. Check in with those clients of yours that you've not heard from in a while.
Yep. Go to the gym.
Set yourself up for success now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like Slate Diggity.
Learn something new. Learn a language. We were doing that for a little bit, trying to learn Spanish. I learned a little bit.
Bro, your boy Paul. He had that Spanish
5
down.
languages.
Yeah. But all right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. This is the Uneducated Podcast, episode 10. And like, comment, subscribe, and do the things. You know what I mean?
We appreciate y'all. See you next time.
See you guys.
Peace out.